What is up, everybody? This is RybackStun. We have returned to Marvel Heroes. We are here taking a look at Ghost Rider on the test center. Remember, this is the test center, so everything is subject to change. They did a bunch of QoL items. He plays similar but different. He has specializations in place of one of his old passives that specifically increased your damage based on how low your health was. You still have a little bit of that mechanic, but they've fused it in with a couple other mechanics and have given Ghost Rider the opportunity to actually be able to utilize, using specializations, better mechanic control than he had previous to these changes. There are also some specific power changes that have occurred, and we'll take a look at everything as we can. First off, we're going to just take a quick look at all the powers in the, what is this called, the Chains tree. So, Chain Thrash is still the same. It still does physical damage. It regenerates health when you hit an enemy affected by Hellfire. Chain Snare, also the same thing. It applies Hellfire. Physical damage, mobilization duration, the spirit cost is, in the medium area. Condemn, same power, you yank people. Difference here now is that your spender is going to be Chain Lash instead of Judgment. This increases damage by 25% against Hellfire inflicted enemies, which you'll always be able to have with something like Inferno or Chain Snare. And this is your new single target damage dealer Spirit Spender. We have Whirling Chain, still plays the same, but Judgment has had a significant change. Before, in the Chains build, this was your spender. This is now a cooldown power that always deals a brutal strike and has an 8-second cooldown. So you can see him just boom. Brand new power in the tree is called Chain Fletcher. This does physical damage. Your physical damage rating is increased for 8 seconds. It does a stun. It's an 8-second cooldown, and it has a spirit cost of 11.9. That's not the base because I have other changes that are currently in my build, but that's about where you'll see it with gear in. Basically, it's a shotgun with chains, and if you mix it up with some of the other stuff, you can add a bunch of extra damage, but then just shotgun, and there's all the chains as it happen. Now, the next tree we have your Hellfire. Hellfire is still the same basic thing it's always been. Toss, toss, toss. Inferno is the same basic thing. Instead of having Infernal Skulls, now we have Hellfire Beam. It does mental damage and deals 20% additional mental damage per stack of Hellfire. And it's just blast, 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 which is pretty neat. Flay does what it's supposed to do. Mental damage, knockdown, deals 50% additional damage per stack of Hellfire, 8-second cooldown. Penance Stare does the same thing, although its execute, I believe, was increased. 3% damage per 1% of the target's missing health. Maximum channel time of 1.3. And then we have Damnation, which is just him breathing fire at people. Infernal Wheelie, Burn the Treads, Ride, Protect the Innocent, and Hell from Above are all pretty much the same. Although, this has some better mechanics now with the way that it works. What did that just do? Oh, it was a tear. It was a tear. Gotcha. So specialization-wise, you have a power called Spirit of Vengeance. It passively revives you, it gives you crit hit rating, damage rating, and restores 6 spirit when you hit with an enemy affected by Hellfire. But now, individually, each of these specializations give Spirit of Vengeance a power activated to it, and also specialization passives for it. So Chains Ablaze gives you 10% damage to your Chains power. You have 8% damage reduction. Spirit of Vengeance active automatically applies when Penance Stare is used, which is this. And the active effect is it increases your Chains damage by an additional 10%, and all your Chains powers apply a stack of Hellfire on hit. So not only will Penance Stare activate this, but you can activate it yourself for your Chains build. Next, we have Hell's Angel, which gives you 8% damage reduction. You have 10% damage increase to mental powers, and the Spirit of Vengeance active effect is all enemies affected by Hellfire instantly combust for mental damage, and it deals 100% additional damage per stack of Hellfire. So this can do an additional 300% damage based upon that ability, and will do, a ton of damage when you activate Spirit of Vengeance. And last but not least, Infernal Contract. This works much like the old Contract. This is and combined with the old passive that Spirit of Vengeance used to be, you now have 25% additional damage when while below 50% health. You also ignore 30% of incoming damage when you're below 50% health. And the Spirit of Vengeance active effect is that your health is reduced to and cannot regenerate beyond 50% of its maximum. You gain 10% critical and brutal chance, 100% critical and brutal damage, and your duration is of 8 seconds for this buff. It will also automatically proc your damage increase and your defense increase through Infernal Contract. So one thing I do want to show is I want to show how Hell's Angel specifically works, because it is a neat power. So if I were to shoot some Hellfire bombs at this person and right-click, boom, there's your little explosion on the back end, and it does the damage that it needs to, and then you just Hellfire beam. So that's going to be it for Ghost Rider. Nothing else has really much changed about him. Items are coming up, being reviewed by Asros. You can check out the TC forums for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did showcasing it to you. Remember to like and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr at RybackStun. Remember, we do stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 12 p.m. PST and Tuesday at 3 p.m. PST. Marvel Heroes, other streaming content. Come join us, have fun, talk. And that's going to be it. So with that, this is RybackStun, signing out.